Hello, this is Daniel Mart, and today I'm gonna be doing a review for episode 10 of season 4 for The Walking Dead Inmates. So, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm a little bit sick. Whatever. So, yeah, for those who haven't seen it, I recommend you really watch the episode because it's a really in depth and packed episode, and there may be a lot of spoilers. So, I'll give you a couple seconds for you guys to leave, starting now. So, yeah, as I said before, it's going to be a very packed episode. Packed. 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 I'm emphasizing it's really in depth. But as usual, as review goes, I'll do a quick synopsis, likes and dislikes, and then I'll rate it as usual. So yeah, packed. Okay, I really need to stop that. So basically, we're basically meeting up with the rest of the groups, from the prison. Since last week we did, there was Michonne, Carl, and Rick. Today we're gonna head back, with the rest of the groups. See what happened to Daryl and Beth, Tyrese, Mika, and Lizzie. Glenn, Tara, Michonne, not Michonne. Maggie, Sasha, and Bob. And what happened to them. And we also have some pretty cool reveals. So that's pretty cool. It's basically cut up into like 5 different sections. Really just based on each group. Like what happened to Beth and Daryl, what happened to Tyrese, Mika, and Lizzie. That's 2 of them. What happened to Glenn and Tara, what happened to Maggie, Bob, and Sasha, and as I said before, some reveals. So yeah, the synopsis is not really clear cut, but it's really just looking at the aftermath of what happened to each of the rest of the groups after the attack in the prison, how they're reacting, and basically them trying to find each other. Yeah, as I said before, there were some pretty amazing reveals. We find out that Judith survived. We kind of did find out from that Latin trailer, which actually did a review a couple days back. Link somewhere here. Someone fucked up on that, but the way it was shot, it was a pretty cool reveal. Tyrese is holding her, and he basically turns around. So that was a pretty cool reveal. Yeah. Carol comes back after having been gone missing or whatever in Indifference, I believe is the episode. She reappears with Mika and Lizzie. Yeah. Mika, Lizzie, and Judith. Tyrese's group kind of split for maybe a couple minutes. Because Tyrese heard some another group screaming. No one we actually care for or really know. Some random people. They die. So yeah. Then Carol comes, apparently saving the kids. And yeah, now there's something really, I don't know if it's creepy or what the hell is up with Lizzie, but she basically tried to kill baby Judith. She put her hand over the mouth and the nose and whatever. Because it was crying and, obviously scared. So she was like choking it. And that was dark. So far, that's like one of the darkest things we've seen. Damn. Also, there's another thing that she does is like she's cutting up rabbits. She's like sitting on this log and she's like with a knife. She's like cutting like rabbit tails or legs or whatever, and it's just very weird. It's like nobody's seeing that, so it's very interesting as to what's gonna happen with Lizzie. So yeah, let's see. We have Glenn and Tara who they were at the prison. Lily, Tara's sister, she dies. She sees it. So yeah, yeah. Glenn, you see him coming out of he apparently got off the bus at some point, and he runs. He's basically trying to escape. He puts on some riot gear. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. he eventually meets up with Tara because Tara's like, caged in this one part. So they talk about saying that you need my help or something like that, and they eventually escape. And this is all at the end of the episode. And I'm doing it from like what I think is the best parts to like best parts of each group to the groups I really don't care for at this point. I mean, I care for the characters, but the way the group was and whatever how it was handled, I really didn't care for. So it's still kind of a quick synopsis and likes and dislikes mixed, but whatever. At the end of the episode, major spoilers for those who read the comics, or don't, or what are spoilers. At the end of the episode, Abraham, Eugene, and Rosita appear at the end of the episode. I had a nerdgasm, I have to admit that one. Kind of weird, but I said that, but it was pretty cool. And they were posed exactly like in this, like one of the issues, 52 or 53, I believe. 50, somewhere between 50 and 55. They were posed almost exactly like them. Like from the comics, like an exact pose from the comics to the TV, which I found a little bit odd, but I still think was pretty cool. Yeah. Let's see. You also have Maggie, Maggie, Bob, and Sasha. Maggie's basically trying to find Glenn, see what happened to them. Sasha's like, he's likely to just get over it, but Bob says, there's still maybe some hope. So they go off, in search for Glenn, and they assume Tyrese and everybody else from the group. And they eventually do find the bus, and everybody in the bus basically died and more or less reanimated. So there's some pretty cool Walker Tales, some pretty odd ones at that as well. I mean, some of the Walker Tales, I don't know if you noticed, but I feel like one of them was really just in the neck, and it actually just went down. Like, okay, so I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to dive into the neck. Decapitator, yeah, I mean, not really die, but still, munching, but it's pretty weird. One of the coolest Walker kills was with Maggie. She was like bashing this one Walker, against the side of the bus, which was pretty cool. Like, bah, 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 bah. That was pretty cool. Maggie eventually goes inside the bus, and we see this one Walker, who in the back, he kind of looked like Glenn. I mean, we all knew Glenn wasn't gonna die at that point, considering we've seen all the other teaser trailers and whatnot. But he did kind of look like Glenn, from the back. She kills him, then she starts crying or laughing or smiling. It was a weird transition. I mean, obviously, her knowing that Glenn's not dead. So yeah. Yeah. Then lastly, we have Daryl and Beth. I thought their group was handled badly. I mean, they start off the episode with Glenn doing this weird narrating, like praying almost. I mean, yeah, I get she's religious, but the way they made it seem is so weird and awkward. I really didn't like the beginning. But you do have some pretty cool interactions with them. Daryl just shutting down and Beth, saying still have hope. Then Daryl says was one cool line. It went something like, Faith didn't do anything for her father. Damn, that was a cool quote. I think one of my favorites. Yeah, damn, that was a good quote. She's kind of shocked, so yeah. One thing I really didn't like about this episode though is the timeline was just all over the damn place. And yeah, it's like all over the damn place. I mean, it's just weird. The timeline is awkward. It's weird. It just doesn't. It's like, I know they're chopping up the each group's section, but it just doesn't feel right or look good. I really don't think the direction for this episode was as good as it could have been, in my opinion. There was one thing that was pretty incredible, and I think it's more of an Easter egg or something that may happen in the future. There's this one point after Tyrese helped out this father and son that eventually died. The father said there's a place all the way down the railroads terminus or something like that. They eventually do get up to a sign where it says terminus. Those who arrive survive. So, it's almost like the one radio call from the one of the trailers was just cut from the episode, which I think is going to be eventually a major thing in the series, or at least season 4 for whatever's left of it. So yeah, that's going to be very major eventually. Terminus. I mean, I know terminus. It kind of sounds like terminal. Which terminal basically means the end, or it's like something in a train station. You know what I mean? Or I think it's also like crossings or something. Like when the two train tracks kind of cross, intersect, or whatever. So it could be that too. That may be actually a pretty cool base eventually. I'm really excited as to how all these groups are gonna eventually meet up, because it does seem like, stupid age. It does eventually seem like all the groups have to eventually meet up at one point or another. Yeah. Why is my nose itching so much? I don't know. So yeah, yeah, but I really think this episode did have something left to be desired. I think that's because of the way it was badly formatted. I mean, the timeline was kind of weird. So yeah, I mean, the dialogue was still awesome. Incredible. The acting, as usual, was incredible. I think the problem is that, granted, it is a very in-depth episode, but I think they were trying to fit way too much into this one episode. So I think that was one of the major problems. So yeah, I mean, it was good at times, it was bad at times, so it was shaky. It was basically shaky. But it was still overall a pretty good episode. And we finally have the introduction of Abraham, Rosita, and Eugene, which for those who read the comics, obviously we're very likely gonna go up next. I mean, I actually did a video on it, also annotation here. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah. How many annotations can I put on this thing? Okay, this video is probably gonna have like 7 annotations by the end. I mean, previous video, next video, subscribe. Let's see, the Judith commercial, lighting commercial, the Washington, and previous and last episode, next episode. I whatever. Forget the annotations. I'm check down in the description below. Maybe I'll put some links down there below if I can't fit them up here. But whatever, that's basically it for this episode. Well, almost forgot the rate. I just got 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, and 6 being decent. I'd put this at a 7.5. I mean, it does have its moments, so it's really good, but I think the timeline and the direction really does leave something left to be desired, and it's just very awkward and weird. And also the narration at the beginning of the episode was really weird and awkward, in my opinion. So yeah, that's basically it. As I said before, there may be some links here and that as annotations or down in the description below. Check them out. I still need to figure that part out. Maybe later. I don't know. Yeah. But that's basically it for this video. Links, description, and annotations. Subscribe. Also, I also do other Walking Dead related videos. I do discussion topics on the Walking Dead, some on the comics, some on the TV shows, usually on TV shows, but I may do 1 or 2 on the comics. I also do reviews for the Walking Dead comic series every now and then, and the TV series, TV show. And yeah, I also review movies, other TV shows, and other comics, so stay tuned for that, and trailers and action figures, and media news and other stuff that I prefer. So yeah, also stay tuned for that. Comment below on your thoughts on this episode. Do you think it should be more than 7.5, less than 7.5? What do you think about the character development? Do you think Lizzie would have actually have a pretty cool discussion topic that I'm gonna make soon. Will Lizzie be the new Ben? That'll be more explained in that video. But Ben from the comics, you guys know what I'm talking about if you read the comics. But whatever. But comment below on your thoughts on all the character development and what do you think about that weird choppy timeline, and did you like the narration at the beginning of the episode, and what do you think we're gonna see out of Abraham, Eugene, and Rosita in the upcoming episodes? Do you think they're gonna be just like in the comic counterparts, or do you think they're gonna have other more backstory, something like that, more character development? That down in the comments below. Subscribe, share on Instagram, Facebook, MySpace, Twitter, Vine, or whatever you guys prefer. And that's basically it for this review. Yeah. That's basically it. This is Daniel Mart signing off.